And welcome inside a Geisman Gymnasium for the NACC Conference Tournament semifinal matchup between the visiting number 5 Marian University Sabres and the number 1 seed Concordia University Chicago Cougars. I'm Carter Gledhill, joined by Peter Borkowski and Parker Kelly, and both teams have a lot on the line. First, for the Sabres, they have not been back in the conference championship since 2014 when they last won it, and the Cougars have yet to make it to the conference championship, but took one step closer with a first-round victory against Edgewood College Wednesday night by a score of 94-81.
Those 94 points, those were the most points the Cougars have scored in a game this year, and it came off some really efficient shooting. They did 55% from the field, 54% from three-point land, and Jordan Matthews also threw in a double-double with 21 points and 12 rebounds. Something to improve on, though, is the free throw shooting. Their field goal and three-point percentage were both higher than their free throw shooting, which you don't see that often.
And while we talk about Jordan Matthews a lot, there's also one other player for CUC that we should also give credit to, Justin Greenlee, setting a new career high of 16 points against the Eagles.
Greenlee, he went 7 for 9 from the field, so continuing that efficient shooting I talked about earlier. Greenlee's done a really good job ever since he's kind of been thrust into this facilitator role that Coach Kohler has put him in since about mid-season. He's quick, he's agile, and he's got great vision. When you combine those things, you got a really good ball distributor.
And for Parker, the Cougars continue to excel on offense because of one key component, and that is the team offense, especially the bench points. Against the Eagles, they had 30 bench points. Brett Hatton with 13 in that game. But Coach Kohler always talks about it, getting the ball around, moving the ball around the perimeter, and they really did a good job of that Wednesday night.
Yeah, bench points were one of the main storylines of the game. The Cougars outscored the Eagles 30-1, and Brett Hatton leading the charge with 13 points. Bench points were huge for the Cougars all night.
And for Marian now with the 4th best offense in the NACC after winning against Aurora in IIT. They have a couple big playmakers, and I know two that you want to talk about, Devin Barnstable and David Britton.
That's right. Those two guards have been huge for the Sabres all year, with David Britton averaging 18.7 points per game, which is 4th in the NACC, and Delvin Barnstable 5th in the NACC with points per game with 17. They've been doing it all year, and the Sabres are going to rely heavily on them tonight.
And Peter, this is the 3rd matchup we'll see between the Sabres and the Cougars on the season. Both teams were able to host the game in the regular season, and the home team won in those contests. And what's going to be one thing that you're going to see from the Cougars that might be differentiating from the regular season and the postseason?
Well, and I'll talk about this a bit later. It seems when they get more people involved in the play, better things happen. In their first game, they lost 72-70 at Marian. Like you said, Jordan Matthews threw in a 20-piece, but that wasn't enough to overcome 2 20-pieces from the Sabres, one of which came from Barnstable, who Parker said we need to look out for. Later, back here in Geisman, the Cougars won 71-73. No 20-piece for the Cougars, but they did have 4 players hit double digits.
Well, we are minutes away from the semifinal matchup between the Sabres and the Cougars. How about some game keys, guys? Peter, I'll start with you.
I said it just a second ago, but it's getting the ball in everybody's hands. When they're not just focused on Jordan Matthews, this offense is a headache for defenses to take care of when they're having so many different players attack them from so many different angles. If the Cougars can do that, like they've done all season, they should come away with a win.
Parker, what do you got?
I feel the keys to the game are pretty simple. It would be to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And for Marian, that's Delvin Barnstable and David Britton. Those two have been on a tear all season long. And for CUC, they like to play really aggressive defense, so the Sabres will rely heavily on them. And for the Cougars, it's the same thing. Get the ball in the hands of Justin Greenlee. He's a great ball distributor. He has great vision. He's able to see the entire court. And get the ball in the hands of Jordan Matthews. And as we all know, he's been on a tear as well.
Well, my key to this game is going to be who shoots the long ball better. The Sabres come into this game the best in the conference as well as 12th in the nation in three-point shooting with 38% on the season. The Cougars, however, had a fantastic shooting game against Edgewood College, 54%, which is their best on the season. And one thing that the Cougars can take advantage of is the lack of three-point defense from the Sabres. They are allowing 36% in games to their opponents. So I believe whoever can defend and shoot behind the three-point arc is going to be the winner tonight. Well, that's about does it for the pregame show inside of Geisman. We have starting lineups and the national anthem, but first, a message from President Russell Dawn.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
in a semifinal showdown inside a Geisman Gymnasium. Hello everybody, Carter Gledhill joined by Peter Borkowski with you on the call from the Cougar Sports Network. Peter, we saw the warm-ups. People were shooting around. A lot of shots were going around. Both teams energized is the big difference. Fans for Cougars are loud, and we're getting ready for tip-off for semifinal basketball.
All season, the Cougars just feast off of the energy that emanates from the crowd at Geisman. Teams have a really difficult time coming to River Forest to play this Concordia team, not to mention the team itself, which is a very good squad. I think tonight's going to be a fun night to be a Cougar fan. That's all I got to say.
Well, let's take a look back at how both teams got to this point. The Cougars, after getting the first-round bye for being the #1 seed, won on Wednesday night against Edgewood College by a score of 94-81, which was one of their best offensive performances of the season, shooting 55% from the field, 54% from behind the arc, as well as scoring 94 points. The Sabres narrowly escaped the first round after beating Aurora 76-75 on a Delvin Barnstable game-winning three-pointer with 4.3 seconds left in overtime and winning against IIT by a score of 85-71. Cougars win the opening tip. They'll go left to right on your screen. The Sabres right to left. Cougars in all white, maroon numbered, gold trim, and the Sabres in all black, blue numbers, and gray lettering. Justin Greenlee with 16 points in Wednesday night contest. The season high is going to be a player to watch for if you're a Cougar fan as he drives right side in on Gemeiner. It's the first bucket of the game.
You see right off the bat why Greenlee's been so good for the Cougars. He's got such explosive speed, and you don't know if he's going to pass or shoot always, so it kind of catches you off guard with whatever he does.
Sabres finished the regular season as the 4 seed. With a 8-5 away record, they come into this game 12th in the country with a 38% three-point percentage as a team. And there's a turnover there from Tyler Gowan. Isaac Rudell left side gets it tipped inside, but Jordan Matthews, strong finish, able to avoid the contact from the 6'5 Scott Paulus.
It's the steals for the Cougars. They've been doing it all year. They're second in the conference in 10 steals per game. We saw another one there. They're a very handsy team. They like to disrupt passes, disrupt plays. It's what's led them here in this defensive category.
And similarly to how we saw Wednesday night when they played Edgewood College, they got off to a fast start. Not any threes yet for the Cougars, but 2 quick buckets already setting the tone in this game. A rebound by Greenlee. Emmanuel Wilson streaking down the far side, pulls it back to give it to Landon Gladney. Had an off night against Edgewood College with only 2 points. Looks to rebound here. Matthews, corner 3. Long ball, heat check, probably from Wednesday night when he was on fire in that game.
I don't think that's the 3 you really want to take if you're Matthews. He had a guy right up in his face. Matthews really feasts off getting to open space for those threes.
A nice 3 from the right side from Dylan Gemeiner, shooting 41% on the season.
You want to talk about three-point shooting. Marian, they finished as the top team in the conference in terms of three-point shooting percentage, a little over 38%. That's something the Cougars got to be on lockdown for tonight if they want to keep this team in check.
Cougars going to have to move the ball as well. Stuck on the perimeter was Justin Greenlee before giving it to Gladney. Now Rudell. Gladney pulling up, top of the key, short. So now 2 airballed threes for the Cougars to start this game. We talked about it in the pregame show. The Cougars might have been antsy about the fact that Marian has the worst three-point percent defense in the conference, and they're taking a little bit too rush shots right now.
Well, and part of the reason the Cougars have been successful from beyond the arc is because they're smart with it. They don't take shots that are blocked. And I mean, Landon Gladney, he's not your typical three-point shooter, so Cougars will be a little bit smart with their shot selection.
Another 3, this time from Barnstable, right in front of the Cougar fan section. Marian takes a 6-4 lead.
He's 6th in the conference in 2 3-pointers per game. You got to watch out for Barnstable.
And an offensive foul called goes against Jordan Matthews. Pushed down Dylan Gemeiner to the ground.
Marian's done a good job coming back after that 4-0 start by the Cougars. 2 3-pointers got them the 2-point lead. Cougars got to find an answer here, especially defensively.
Right side, David Britton now over to the left to Gowan. One of the top players on this team, averaging 16 points a game, number 22. Had 29 points against IIT. Has it now at the top, double teamed by 2 Cougars. A 3 from Britton. Left side iron goes out of bounds. Ball will go to the Sabres. Now 2 quick substitutions for the Cougars, the usual off the bench, and the first platoon of substitutions for Coach Kohler. Tavares, Davis Williams, and Brent Hatton replacing Emmanuel Wilson and Landon Gladney.
Davis Williams, I think that's going to be a real player to watch tonight. He's the biggest player on this Cougars team. If he can utilize his size correctly, Marian doesn't have a lot of size himself, so he could be a big X factor for CUC tonight.
Gowan loses his footing, loses the ball, and it goes out of bounds.
Justin Greenley, I've mentioned him before. He just seems to be everywhere on the court. He's playing good defense there. The sophomore really stepping into a big role with CUC this year.
Defensively, Marian is 6th in the conference, allowing 72 points a game. The Cougars allowing 71 points a game, just above the Sabres in the 5th spot in that category. Greenlee, head of steam, right side, stops on a dime in the block. Nice baby hook. Justin Greenlee with 4 points.
Greenlee, he'll go 2 for 2 to start his game. He was perfect 5 for 5 last game, so quick start, and he's a big reason why.
A Barnstable shot in the paint off the mark. Rudell going the other way, finds Hatton on the left wing. Open look for the big man.
I like the shot selection. Just got to finish on those. It's wide open. Good ball movement by the Cougars to catch a defense on their toes.
Britton baseline, able to bounce it into Paulus. He loses it. Greenlee picks it up off the ground.
Both teams are playing some really quick ball right now. Maybe see some nerves get into these players.
Ball was hit off of Scott Paulus and out of bounds. It'll be Cougars ball coming in after the break. Both teams tied at 6. The Cougars struggling from deep. Marian lighting it up already with 2 long balls of their own. You're watching NACC Conference Basketball on the Cougar Sports Network.
Covertheforest.org.
A slow start for the game for the Cougars. Justin Greenlee picking up slack with 4 points and 2 3-pointers out of the hands of Delvin Barnstable, as well as Dylan Geminer for the Sabres is where we stand now. Brett Hatton double teamed inside out of the inbound. Jalen Meeks checked into the game for the Cougars. Hatton, hesitation, baseline. Spinning around, has some wiggle room, gets it to Davis Williams. Right on the block, stuffed in the face. Scott Paulus got both paws on the ball. It is a jump ball called by the referee, and it'll be in favor of the Sabres. Referees for tonight's game, Tom Warwick, Greg Gerstein, and Steve Lukebeck.
I like the Cougars trying to work it inside a bit more. Marian's really dependent on that 3-pointer. I think the Cougars have a slight size advantage for the most part. Just couldn't get the bucket out of that possession there.
Quick turnaround 3 from Geminer. Off the mark. Foul called. It'll go against Davis Williams of the Cougars. It'll be the team's 2nd foul. Davis Williams first. Jordan Matthews coming in to replace Justin Greenlee. And Peter, right now, the Cougars are a little bit out of tempo compared to how they were Wednesday night, not just offensively, but they are definitely having to move around more because the Sabres are moving the ball around outside compared to Edgewood's inside attack.
Well, Edgewood, you had Jake Schreckenthaler, the big 6'7" man for them. It's a lot different game from Marian. The Cougars seem to be playing more like how they played Edgewood, like you said, a bit more inside rather than guarding that outside perimeter and that quick ball movement.
Jalen Meeks turnover. That is the 3rd of the game for CUC. A quick drive with the right hand from Tyler Gowan.
Something else going back to that Edgewood game, a big reason the Cougars were able to win is because they had an extremely hot start. got some help from the 3 ball. That's the reason they're able to win by double digits. They're not getting that here against a much more tenacious Marian team.
Davis Williams able to get the loose ball from Hatton on the ground. Cougars now down by 3. They had never trailed in the second round game against Edgewood, so they will be having to play from behind now. Scott Paulus inside.
A nice pass by Gowan. He's tied for 9th in the conference at 3 assists per game. You're seeing why. It's a nice little bounce pass right in the hands of Paulus, who just finished the job up the net.
Meeks looking for somewhere to go with it, gets it to Hatton. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Hatton drive inside, 2-step, and rattles it home. Brent Hatton now with his first points of the game.
I think the big men are going to be how the Cougars can beat the Sabres. I take the Cougars big men over the Sabres almost any day. They just got to get the ball in their hand. They just got to execute these plays.
Gowan, step back attempt on Davis Williams. He gets it short. Meeks chases after the ball.
Nice.
1 possession game.
Nice job by Davis Williams. Just stand his ground, let Gowan make that tough shot, which he wasn't going to make most likely.
Rudell had a hand in his face on that 3. Ball was hit out of bounds by Dylan Geminer. Landon Gladney and Justin Greeley in for the Cougars. For the Sabres, Ben Baston, as well as Nick Breakbush.
Interested to see how Marion's bench does coming into the game. Marian has 3 top 10 scorers on this squad with Britton, Barnstable, and Gowan. You don't hear about their bench as much, so see who can win this bench battle tonight.
And going on the flip side for the Cougars with 30 bench points in their game against Edgewood, Coach Kohler always talks about a team offense and moving the ball around for everybody to contribute. Jordan Matthews just short on his another 3-point attempt. Landon Gladney gets stuffed, was able to kick it all the way back out to Matthews. Hatton pump fake inside with the finish, then fouled. So 2 free throws to come. I was surprised he was able to get off that shot with the hard contact that he drew from Scott Paulus.
It was a really nice move by Hatton. Doesn't look like he'd be that quick, but it's some excellent acceleration to cut to the basket there after the pump fake. Good job drawing the foul, even though he couldn't finish the bucket.
Now here's the one part of the Cougars game that they have struggled with this entire season is the free throw line. Shooting 65% as a team. That is 12th in the nation. And Peter, you mentioned a pretty mind-boggling stat in the pregame show that is kind of reflective of this struggle the Cougars have had.
Well, in last game against Edgewood, the Cougars shot a higher field goal and 3-point percentage and free throw percentage, which I don't know if I've seen in any level of basketball. And, that kind of gives Marian a little bit of a helping hand because they know they could be a little bit more aggressive. They could afford those fouls because there's a decent chance the Cougars aren't going to hit on most of their free throws tonight.
Hatton's 1 of 2 free throws brings the game within 2. Should also note that Marian is the #1 free throw shooting team in the NACC conference. Strong board from Jalen Meeks. Looking up the middle, sees nothing but black jerseys, but takes it all the way. Gets blocked. Landon Gladney, offensive board and put back. Landon Gladney leads the team in offensive rebounds, adding to 40 now on the season, and you can see why he's in the lineup.
Gladney's looked really hungry tonight. Maybe a little bit of a response to his last game when he only scored 2, 1 for 9 shooting. He's been super aggressive on the boards, trying to put the ball back up in the basket. Love to see that game continue out of him tonight.
Justin Greenlee called for the foul. The Cougars now with 3 fouls.
Another big reason Cougars had so much success against Edgewood last game is they played a really clean game of basketball. Not that many free throws for Edgewood. That's not something you can afford against Marian. Like you mentioned earlier, Carter, they're the #1 free throw shooting team in the conference.
Jared Henderson in for Marian. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Britton, left side, stops, pulls it back out. Breakbush gets it back to the corner for Britton. Needs somewhere to go. Shot clock sounds. Good defensive stand for the Cougars.
That's what the Cougars need. When Marian gets a shot off, there's a good chance it goes in. They're second in the conference in field goal percentage, so good job just not letting them get that shot off at all.
The game is tied going into another break, but the Cougars are picking up some steam. Marian keeping their pace. 13-13, 11:49 remaining in the first half. Back inside at Geisman Gymnasium, Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you on the call for the NACC Conference Tournament semifinal matchup between number 1 Concordia Chicago and number 5 Marian University. Other game going on tonight up in Wisconsin. Number 2 Concordia, Wisconsin versus number 3 St. Norbert College. Brent Hatton gives it into Landon Gladney. Good dump. Rudell, ball movement around for the Cougars. Jordan Matthews stopped. Hatton shot fakes. Backing down his defender inside and gets it ripped out by Barnstable. Good defensive poke from Barnstable, who leads the team with 36 steals coming into the game.
Very good, tenacious D from the Sabres. They know, I think that they got to think defense has got to be their key to the game because they're a very good offense. It's usually their defense that causes them to lose games. They can play good defense tonight against the Cougars. They know their offense is not going to have that much problem scoring the ball.
Losing it off of his head, but getting it back was on the side. Fadeaway shot from Breakbush, no good. Rudell off the rebound.
That was a really nice rebound by Rudell. He had to really get up there. That's why he leads the team with 5.8 rebounds a game.
Good cut inside from Emmanuel Wilson, no foul called. Jared Henderson had an arm up, made it a difficult shot.
Wilson maybe just a little too close to know what to do with it that quick. It's a little too aggressive on the shot.
Britton with a nice turnaround, tried to dump it inside for Henderson. Deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with the Sabres. Jalen Meeks checks back into the game for Jordan Matthews. Some fresh faces for the Sabres. DeAndre Ross checks in for the first time, and returning to the game is Tyler Gowan, replacing Breakbush as well as Britton. In the corner is Ross, back up to top to Henderson. Gowan, quick move, gets it into the corner. Off the mark, and a foul going the other way. Jared Henderson, a little bit too much contact on Landon Gladney when the shot came up.
Interested to see what Henderson can bring to the table for Marian. He's their tallest player at 6'8". You got to believe he's most of their post game. Just something they're going to really need to beat the Cougars. They have a very good three-point defense to neutralize the very good Marian three-point offense.
Ben Baston is replaced by Dylan Geminer. Isaac Rudell bringing it up for the Cougars. A little change of pace. Emmanuel Wilson on the left wing. Feeds it inside to Landon Gladney. Almost got tipped into own basket by Jared Henderson. And Wilson able to steal it away. Loses his footing, ball on the ground. Picked up by Gowan. No foul called. The Cougar faithful not happy with it.
Wilson was looking for a foul too. Thought he got tripped up. No such luck from the referee.
Tyler Gowan sizing up Wilson. Going right block, kicks it out to Ross. Now a drive inside from Barnstable. Gets knocked down. Rebound from Meeks. Cougars the other way. Jalen Meeks, Euro steps, foul on the way up. 2 shots for the fifth-year senior.
All Cougars are struggling to shoot right now. 1 for 6 in their last 6 field goal attempts. So Meeks is going to see if he can get some luck at the free throw line.
Jalen Meeks on the season is a 70% free throw shooter, shooting 73% for his career with CUC. Right now the Cougars are not off to the start they want from the free throw line, 1 of 3. Jordan Matthews, Tavares Davis-Williams in to replace Emmanuel Wilson and Landon Gladney. Meeks knocks down the second, gives the Cougars the lead, 1-point advantage.
This game might come down to the wire at the end of the day. And those free throws are really where you can get that advantage when it's a close game. Cougars got to get a better job of just converting on them.
Sabres moving the ball around the perimeter, trying to draw the Cougars defense out. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Gowan, a shot from the wing, rattles out. Rudell, nice grab. Jalen Meeks goes the other way. Good cut inside. Jordan Matthews not able to finish the first time. Davis-Williams gets fouled the second time up. Foul will go against Jarrett Henderson. Henderson picks up his 3rd personal foul. Second, excuse me.
Well, all the Cougars' points except 2 have been scored in the paint, and those 2 points came off of free throws. So looks like going to the post is their game plan right now against this Marian team.
Well, if there's a guy that loves playing against Marian more, it's Tavares Davis-Williams. He has a season high of 13 points back when they played Marian on January 15th. His career high of 17 points and 11 rebounds against Marian came on February 18th of last season. So maybe a pick to click later on in this game is Tavares Davis-Williams. Meeks tried to jump the pass. A 3 from Geminer. Long ball, drains it.
That's almost unfair. It's good defense by the Cougars. Geminer well off from the three-point line, but just a good shot.
After only scoring 3 points in the game against IIT, Dylan Geminer off to a hot start, 2 of 3 from behind the arc. Another turnover from Isaac Rudell. Henderson able to swat it away. A 3 from Britton. He hits it. Timeout called by the Cougars. Marian, back-to-back possessions with a 3 has silenced the crowd in Geisman. 8:05 remaining. Sabres up 4.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? And now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Cougars had to call a timeout to stop the absolute onslaught from downtown from the Sabres. 5 of 9 now in the game after back-to-back threes from David Britton and Dylan Geminer. Peter, right now the Cougars are having a struggle stopping the outside shot.
Well, that's what happens when you're so good at shooting the threes. You can go on big runs in relatively short amount of time. They scored 6 points in 45 seconds, so it's a big advantage being able to shoot big-time threes.
Landon Gladney, nice shot. Now has 4 points in the game after only scoring 2 against Edgewood. Ball is loose on the ground. Henderson loses it out of bounds. Jordan Matthews was there to fight him off. So potential here for the Cougars to tie the game or take the lead. As you mentioned, Peter, this could come down to the wire in the end just because of how tight each team is playing each other.
It's going to be those little plays that come down into the wire and decide the winner of this game, who can score off of turnovers, who can hit free throws. Really just comes down to who wants it more tonight.
Wilson trying to go left side. Gets stopped on the block by 3 Sabres. Gladney pulls it out. 8 seconds. Hands in the, from Matthews, left side. Double swat from Henderson. Shot up just off the mark from Wilson. Ball rolls out of bounds. Last touch off Britton. A wild sequence of events as the shot clock was going down.
Henderson, I mentioned him a little bit ago. I think he's going to be the X factor for Marian tonight. He had a huge block there. We've seen him involved in a lot of plays, as most 6'8" players are when they're the tallest guy on your team. So he's going to have a good game if Marian wants to come out with a win.
Wilson gives it to Davis-Williams. Greenlee now. Nice top shot from Davis-Williams from the free throw line. Davis-Williams now with 5 points.
Mid-range isn't something you see from any Cougar, for a matter of fact. Davis-Williams is not really living that range himself personally, but this is a nice shot. Knew he had open space, so excited to make the most of it.
Cougars drop into the zone. Gowan from Britton. Back to Gowan. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Long shot off the mark. Good play from Gaminer, keeping it in and throwing it off of Emmanuel Wilson's foot. Gives him a fresh 20 seconds on the shot clock.
Nice heads-up play by Gaminer. He's having himself a nice game. 2 for 3 from the field and from three-point land.
Brent Hatton replaces Davis Williams. Britton looking for somewhere to go. Gladney able to get a hand on it, but it goes back to Gaminer. Britton, a long three. No good. Ball still bouncing around. Henderson pulls it down. Ross settles it down.
Nice close out there by Wilson and Matthews to keep that open 3 from going.
Good fadeaway shot from Dylan Gaminer driving inside. Tough shot. Way to keep his balance.
Again, I think it's going to come down to the post game for Marian. Everyone knows they have a good 3-point shooting team. It's what they can do underneath that's really going to matter at the end of the day. 6-point paint so far to the Cougars 12.
Jordan Matthews to Justin Greenlee. From the right elbow, short. Rebound Gaminer.
Mid-range, not really part of the Cougars game. Greenlee tried his luck there, wasn't able to hit the tough shot.
And it seems right now the Cougars are exhausting all resources in all parts of their offense. Inside, mid-range, three-pointers, and they're still trying to get some sort of idea of where to go. Air ball out of the hand of Gaminer.
Well, the three-pointer wasn't working for him early in the game, and they went 0 for 6.
Gladney step in 3 is short. Rebound from Gowan.
Just tried another one there, so they're trying to feel out the rest of the floor, see where they can get their looks from, and most of them are coming from the post. Again, 12 of their 19 points in the paint.
Cougars are 0 of 7 from behind the three-point arc. The Sabres are 5 of 12, giving their total at 41.7%. Nice shot inside from David Britton, going over 2 Cougars.
A nice shot by Britton. Marian's had some nice luck cutting to the basket, getting some easy looks in the layups. He's got to shut down that post to make sure they only stay to their three-point game.
Hatton reverses course, left inside. Good finish with the left hand. Brent Hatton now with 5 points.
Hatton's another one of those X factors for the Cougars. You never really know what you're going to get out of him points-wise. He has his big games in him. It'd be really nice to see one from him tonight in clutch time.
Ball reversals around the perimeter for Marian. Standing tall in the lane was Brent Hatton. He gets called for a blocking foul instead. Tried to get DeAndre Ross with the charge. Substitutions for both teams, as Marian will inbound it on the left side of the basket.
Both teams playing some good, clean basketball so far. Only 4 fouls apiece right now.
Jalen Meeks, Isaac Rudell in for the Cougars, Scott Paulus, and Devin Barnstable in for the Sabres. Good move inside from Barnstable, trying to float it in, no good. Paulus with the offensive board right off the bench. Britton, right side on Matthews, loses it, and if foul is called, Jordan Matthews can't believe it.
Looks pretty clean from our point of view. Ref must have saw something no one else did though, but it's a good defensive stand by Matthews.
So Matthews picks up his second personal foul. Another break in the action. Sabres up 23-21 with 3:48 remaining in the first half. You're watching NACC Tournament Basketball on the Cougar Sports Network.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Welcome back into the broadcast. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski joining our third member of the broadcast crew, Parker Kelly.
Thank you, Carter. I'm here right in front of the CUC student section, and as you can probably see, we have a multitude of CUC athletic teams represented here. And even though the Cougars aren't off to the best start, the crowd is hype as ever. But the main storyline of the game has been the three-point shooting woes. The Cougars have yet to make a three so far in this game, but also the defense. They are really limiting the Sabres to very few points, so the defense has been the storyline all game. Back to you, Carter.
Thank you, Parker. And yes, definitely for sure the shooting woes for the Cougars. Nice inbound play for the Sabres. Tyler Gowan, another bucket. But as Parker was saying, the Cougars have yet to hit a three-pointer after coming off of their best three-point shooting night of 54% against Edgewood.
Well, and it's the three-pointer that's the big separator now. Teams are basically identical field goal-wise. Marian 10 for 24, Cougars 9 for 22, both around 41%. It's those 5 three-pointers from Marian that's really the separating factor right now.
And Scott Paulus is playing tremendous inside defense. Made a tough shot for Brent Hatton.
Marian's defense doing a really good job. It hasn't been their strong suit all season, but they've made some nice plays to curb this Cougars attack so far.
And one from Devin Barnstable. Spinorama inside. We'll go to the free throw line for a potential three-point play. Barnstable, an 81% free throw shooter on the season, misses the free throw. Ball loose, picked up by Justin Greenlee.
Almost a little scare there. Looked like Hatton might have gotten a bit too much of a saber. Could have been a foul, and then Cougars almost just lost the rebound outright, but good job by the sophomore Greenlee to finally corral it.
With under 3 minutes to play, each possession crucial for the Cougars, trying to etch their way back from this 6-point deficit, the largest of the game. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Emmanuel Wilson, pump fake, good move inside. Now to Rudell, off the mark. Ball still bouncing around. Emmanuel Wilson keeps it in, but the Sabres have possession of it.
Nice job by Wilson. Good athletic effort, just into the wrong hands.
Cougars now 0 for 8 from downtown. Tyler Gowan over to Gaminer. Barnstable, they've been working the top of the key the entire possession. Deflection from Rudell, and then one off the hand of Britton. Landon Gladney checks in for Brent Hatton.
That defense has kind of been missing for the Cougars lately, that very handsy defense that just seem to be everywhere on the court. See if Rudell can get back to those ways. You know, Rudell, all NACC South Defensive Player of the Year last year. It might be the key to getting this defense back on track.
Under 2 minutes to play, the Cougars have definitely been in for a shock offensively, coming off their season-high 94 points against Edgewood College. Still without a three-pointer, struggling from the field, but they can rely on the big man, Landon Gladney, in this one. With 6 points, he is the team leading scorer.
And I mentioned it earlier, Gladney didn't have the best of games last outing against Edgewood, but he's really making up for it now. 3 for 6 from the field.
Nice move in the air from Devlin Barnstable. Not only switching hands, but able to go under with the left off of a soaring Landon Gladney. Lead is back out to 6.
I'm not sure where Barnstable got some of that air time from. Just looked like he was levitating, gave him enough time to switch hands, beat the Cougars D.
Rudell holding the ball, letting the time wind away in the game clock. 5 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. They get it down to 6 before Greenlee goes to work inside, trying to bank it. He hits the floor, no foul call. 2-on-1 the other way for the Sabres. Rudell with a hard foul on Dylan Gaminer. That'll put the Sabres at the free throw line for the remaining 53.1 seconds in the bonus.
Tough play by Rudell. He knew he had a 2-on-1, which are very, very hard to defend, of course. So decided to take his chance at the hard foul. See what Gaminer can do at the free throw line.
Jordan Matthews in for Jalen Meeks. And talk about a quiet night. Jordan Matthews with only 2 points. Justin Greenlee with 4. The Cougars, as we mentioned, have struggled on offense, but there's really been no standout player that has taken over the game, unlike any other game we've seen from the team this year.
Well, and I don't think it's a coincidence. Their 3 top scorers are 3 of their big man, Gladney, Hatton, and Davis Williams. And they saw it earlier when the Cougars could get into groove is when they're utilizing those points in the paint. They got to get back to their way if they want to pull back in this one before half.
Timeout called by Marian. 53 seconds and some change left in the first half. You're watching the NACC Conference Basketball Tournament on the Cougar Sports Network.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you. One player that has stood out in this game is the game-leading scorer, Dylan Gaminer, with 10 points. And talk about a bounce-back game with only 3 points against IIT. The senior forward, averaging just 8 points this season, has stepped up in this game for his team.
Well, Gaminer, he had a big stretch in the middle of the season where he just didn't play. Then he came back, 0 points, 9 points, and then 22 points. So he's very capable of breaking out as he is here tonight against CUC.
And another turnover for CUC. That is their 8th in the game.
They've been a little bit more reckless with the ball tonight than other nights. And again, credit to Marian's defense. They're picking up on that. They're getting in those passing lanes, and they're feasting on these turnovers right now.
Gaminer gives it over to his Gowan counterpart. Hit off the foot of Gladney, shot clock off. Matthews able to split 4 Sabres. Justin Greenlee now. Gladney, baseline drive, gets stuffed and taking it away from Dylan Gaminer. Ball still with the Cougars. Rudell off the side of the backboard. A rebound from Britton, and the buzzer sounds. The Sabres head into the locker room up 31-23 over the Cougars. They're also 11-2 on the season when they're leading at halftime. And the Cougars are going to have to drop some specialty plays on the chalkboard if they want to get back into this one. Peter, as we mentioned, it's hard to win a basketball game, not only when you're struggling from shooting, but when you are scoreless from beyond the arc.
Well, the big reason the Cougars jumped out to that lead last game was because they started out extremely hot from the field, 8 for their first 9. They're 0 for their first 8 tonight. And, you know, for a while they found a way around it. They're really utilizing that post play that they're so good at points. But now they've kind of resorted back to a mid-range game that just hasn't been their formula for success the whole year. So, like you said, Carl, they're going to need to draw up a new game plan come halftime and figure out how to get back in this one in the second half.
And for the Sabres, they're relying on their big playmakers right now, David Britton as well as Dylan Gaminer. Gaminer with 10 points, Britton with 8 points, and they're really making a difference in this game for sure for the Sabres.
Well, we knew they were going to be the big part going in, so see if the Cougars can help stop them in the second half.
We're going to send it down to the court side with Parker Kelly standing with Coach Kohler.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Carter. I'm here with Coach Kohler. And, Coach, maybe not your best half of the season. What are some adjustments that you need to make, or maybe some things you need to clean up going into the second half?
Sure, really, it's both ends. Offensively, we're just settling. We're not really in sync. We've got spray threes, and we're driving it in there, and they're digging, and we're not making them, punishing them for that. And then defensively, we're just not locked into our details right now.
Okay, so what is your message going to be going into the second half?
Yeah, do what we do, because when we do that defensively and we're locked into the game plan, we're really good. They're really good. They're going to find ways if we have breakdowns, so we just can't let that happen. But we've been a second half team all year, so we'll get it going.
Thank you for your time, Coach. Back to you, Carter.
Thank you, Parker. And now on the court right now is the CUC dance team, as we will have halftime entertainment and more from Geisman after the break.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Welcome back inside of Geisman Gymnasium. I'm Carter Glydehill, joined by Peter Borkowski. After what was one of the worst halves of offensive basketball for the Cougars this season, only putting up 23 points, struggling from the field, shooting 35%, and going 0 for 8 from behind the three-point arc. Peter, you heard Coach Kohler say it during his interview with Parker Kelly, is that they just need to worry about what they can control. And really, that's just meaning getting back to what they've done best all year, and that's team offense.
Well, one of the things that Cougars do really well that maybe isn't talked about as much is they just play good, clean basketball. Not a lot of reckless turnovers, errant passes, those sort of plays. They just play good, solid basketball all the time, and they played as a team, which has helped them get into the lead a lot of games. Now, something else Coach Kohler said in that halftime interview is that they are a second-half team, and the stats back that up. 907 points scored in the second half for the Cougars, only 802 in the first. So this is a team that thrives when they really need to, and they really need to right now.
And a second-half team as well this entire season has been the Sabres, scoring 1,037 points in the second half compared to 922 in the first half. But you can also see on your screen right now that the Sabres are shooting 41.7% from behind the three-point arc. They came into this game with the 12th best three-point percentage in the nation, 14th of the nation with 255 three-pointers made in the season, and they're showing that tonight. They're really spreading out the Cougars on the perimeter and getting open looks.
The Cougars, you see them move as a unit. That's what you see a lot in zone defenses. They move a lot as a unit, and that's leading to a lot of open looks for Marian. They just aren't getting out to those closeouts quick enough, so some second-half adjustments on the perimeter are going to be needed to stop that three-point barrage.
As we mentioned before the half, the Sabres are 11-2 when leading at halftime. One of those two losses was actually to CUC back on the 15th here in Geisman Gymnasium, where they lost by a score of 71-63 after going into the locker room with a 1-point advantage. But as the seconds wind down, we end the halftime break, getting ready for second half basketball. Peter, what do the Cougars need to do in the next 20 minutes in order to turn around their defaults and their downsides from the first half?
Ball movement needs to get a little quicker. We're seeing a lot of iso ball, a lot of one-on-one plays from the Cougars, which really isn't their strong suit. They are a good passing team. They like to whip that ball around for some open looks, which they just haven't been getting all game. Again, credit to Marian defense. They're doing a really good job of preventing them, but they start whipping that ball around a little more, they're going to get some open looks and start hitting some shots.
And something that you mentioned during the broadcast, too, as well, is that Marian's depth and their bench is not that much. The Sabres only don't have any bench points in this game. The Cougars with 11. So right now, the Cougars are relying on everybody, as there are no Cougar players in double digits. The only player in the game to be at 10 points is Dylan Geminer.
I mentioned it earlier as well, but the post play has been the strongest part of the Cougars game tonight. Their top three scorers, Gladney, Hatton, Davis-Williams, all big men who thrive in the low post. They get back to that kind of basketball. They should be able to take care of this Marian team, but we got to see if they can make that adjustment here.
Cougar fans back on their feet. Pastor Jeff Leidinger as well walking around. Pastor Jeff is known on campus. Jordan Matthews had a rough first half with only 2 points and 1 of 5 from the field. Looking to change that course. Rudell, early three-pointer. Cougars hit their first three of the game.
It's exactly what they needed coming out of the break. A big three-pointer, break that drought, get them back up and running.
And a bold play from Coach Kohler, too. A set play to one of your better three-point shooters to start the half and just get one under your belt.
Get that momentum going right now. You know, they weren't down by that much, so that three-pointer draws them back within 5.
Kicked ball on Emmanuel Wilson, 20 seconds on the shot clock. The Cougars are going to have to play from behind, and that's one thing that they've been doing this entire season is being down at half and coming back in the second. Coach Kohler saying they're a second-half team. This is nothing new to them, and they just have to work from there and trust what they've been doing all season.
They're a very smart team. Coach Kohler's a very smart coach. They make great adjustments at halftime.
Dylan Geminer tried a three, but Justin Greenlee had a hand in his face. Greenlee now going the other way. Flipped rolls with Geminer on his back. Trying to get it to Wilson, but gives it to Matthews instead. Matthews pulls it back. Starts with the head of steam. Spin around inside. Good find to Gladney. He loses it on the ground. and it was actually tipped off of Scott Paulus' foot, as according to the official on the baseline.
Nice break there for the Cougars. Gladney didn't really look like he was ready for that pass from Matthews. Matthews has a good find. Gladney just didn't have his hands in the right spot, bounced right off of him. So a little bit of a lucky break and ended up bouncing off of Paulus.
Ball goes all the way back around to Riddell, and now Wilson at the top. Alley-oop up to the top for Gladney. That play was slow to develop, but it had a nice finish. Landon Gladney now with 8 points, his second assist from Emmanuel Wilson. The Cougars back within 1 possession.
Nice pass by Wilson, good finish by Gladney. I think Gladney's got to have a huge game for the Cougars if they want to get back in this one.
A 3 from Gaminer. Short, rebound Wilson. You can hear the energy and crowd start to shift in favor of the Cougars. Riddell, long ball 3. Gets his own rebound back inside. Euro step throws it up. No good. Gladney offensive board looking for help. Loses it on the ground. No foul called. Going the other way is David Britton inside. Scott Paulus almost lost it out of bounds.
Refs kind of letting Marian play more so than the Cougars. Marian's gotten away with some pretty physical plays, and we saw Gladney on the ground there.
Britton's three-pointer hit off the top ribbon. The Sabres 0 for 3 to start the second half.
Marian slowing down from the field. Could be big for the Cougars. A big reason Marian was up going into halftime was because they're just hitting just about every shot they took. So they start to make some of these misses. That's going to allow the Cougars, or any team for that matter of fact, crawl back into a game.
So one of the officials having a word with Scott Paulus after that last play. Cougars look to have a little bit more of a spark to their offense to start the second half. Landon Gladney on the block to Greenlee, the 3. Rebound from Tyler Gowan.
I like that look from Greenlee. Got to hit those shots next time. It was a good open look.
That was only Greenlee's 16th attempt on the season. An offensive foul is called. It'll go against Tyler Gowan.
Cougars got a lot of momentum right now. Marian's kind of making some more mistakes already than they did in that first half. So Cougars start capitalizing. They're going to get right back in this. They are right back in this one. They're going to get the lead pretty soon if they start capitalizing.
Tavares Davis-Williams back into the game with which appears to be some elastic wrap on his left hand and wrist. Jordan Matthews wanted to go left, but good defense from Barnstable goes right. Davis-Williams inside, gets stuffed at the rim, and a foul is called. Marian can't believe it. Delvin Barnstable went up with Davis-Williams, and Drake Diener is not happy with that call.
We've seen a lot of those calls throughout the game, and again, refs have a better perspective than we do, but a lot of calls where people thought a foul shouldn't have been called, and in the end of the day, it did.
Timeout called by Marian. 17:03 remaining into the game. The Cougars have started to inch their way back with a 5-0 run over the last 3 minutes and 50 seconds. More NACC Conference Tournament basketball on the Cougar Sports Network.
DiscoverTheForest.org.
Tavares Davis-Williams to the free throw line to shoot 2 free throws after he was fouled by Delvin Barnstable at the rim. And Peter, right now for the Cougars, their defense has changed as well. As Coach Kohler mentioned, they need to go back to the drawing board with that. and they're starting to close out a lot better on perimeter shots from the Sabres.
Right, Sabres 1 for 7 from three-point land in their last 7 attempts, 1 for 4 in their last 4 field goal attempts in general. So Cougars doing a lot better shutting that shooting down from the Sabres. And Sabres, when you take their three-pointers away, they just aren't the same team. They're the #1 three-point shooting team in the conference. Don't know if they have much of a game other than that three-point land ball.
Cougars now 4 of 8 from the free throw line in the game. Sabres are 2 of 3. Geminer swings it over to Gowan. Gowan gets it back. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Britton, Gowan, long three. Left iron. Greenlee rebound right in front of Paulus. Cougars the other way. Have a chance to tie or take the lead.
Good rebound by Greenlee.
Greenlee called for ball, wants it back. As you mentioned, the facilitator role he's been put into by Coach Kohler has allowed him to excel as a player. Wilson on the baseline, looking for help. Got to go somewhere. Davis Williams. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Rudell one-on-one with Barnstable. Left side, stops on a dime, throws it up. Nothing called. And now we have a little scuffle at the bottom. Isaac Rudell and Scott Paulus got tangled up at the baseline. Nothing is called. Now the referees will talk about what will happen. Brent Hatton and Jalen Meeks in for the Cougars, as well as Ben Baston in for Tyler Gowan. Now the official will come to the scorers table and give an update of what happened, and as well as the head coach Drake Diener.
I think you mentioned a little earlier the Cougars, the referees talked to Paulus earlier, kind of pulled him aside after a play. Pulled him aside again after that play.
Britton inside, gets fouled in his drive to the lane. Davis Williams called for the foul. That is his second, team's first. Britton will inbound for the Sabres. Paulus gets it back. Britton gets knocked by Meeks, no foul called. Good move from Britton going baseline. Throws it into the stands. A lucky souvenir for the lady in the third row. Good catch as well.
It's a good hand. She could join one of the teams almost.
Media timeout called. 15:39 remaining. Cougars slowly but surely are still in this one, down 2. 31-29 is your score inside of Geisman. As football GA Lance Moise and former alum hypes up the crowd. CUC chants reign inside a Geisman Gymnasium. Carter Gledhill, Peter Burkowski with you on the call. Cougars will inbound. And since the Cougars were able to go on the run of over 5 minutes, with 6 points, Marian has been scoreless over that stretch too, and the shots have been different for the Sabres compared to the first half. Defense has been tighter for the Cougars. Brent Hatton inside, no foul called. Stepping out of bounds, Dylan Geminer. And as you mentioned, Peter, these referees are letting both teams play it out.
Well, and the blocks are really the big story right now, you ask me. Marian, they already have 6 blocks on the night. They're ranked second in the conference in blocks per game. With 4, they've already exceeded that average. The only team they trail in the conference is the Cougars team you see in front of you.
And a turnover on the inbound pass from Isaac Rudell. And this is where the Cougars have been all season, and in these crucial games, they need to have a player step up or a few sequences of events that really solidify the momentum on their side.
For as much as we talk about CUC being a team, relying on every player on the court, sometimes you do need that Jordan Matthews type player to really step up and put the foot on the pedal and get this team in motion.
Scott Paulus now with 4 points. Jalen Meeks right side, stops on the block, banks it in. Way to answer back from Jalen Meeks. That is his first field goal of the game, now with 3 points.
As I said, they need someone like Jalen Meeks to really step up, and they got it right away.
Jordan Matthews with 2 points, Justin Greenlee with 4, Isaac Rudell with 3. The Cougars have relied on everybody to score, and Emmanuel Wilson has not scored either. Geminer step back 3, no good. He's cooled off compared to the first half. Brent Hatton a 3. Left iron, rebound from Barnstable.
Cougars really like their quick threes tonight, a lot of catch and shoot, which isn't really their formula for success. They're best from 3 when they move the ball around until they get that open look, and there's not an open look there for Hatton.
Davis Williams switched on the screen. Has guarded now. Britton has a hand in his face. Step back 3 in front of his own bench. Tremendous shot from the senior guard.
What happened when you rely on the 3 ball a lot is that you can create a lot of separation with just one shot. Second goes a 2-point game now. It's back up to 5.
Rudell trying to force his way inside, almost loses it, and a foul is called. Marian's bench is crazy. We're going to sort this all out. Looked like Scott Paulus got popped in the face. Reached in, an initial foul called on Isaac Rudell. Now as we wait for the referees standing at the center logo to figure it out. We are sitting right now, Peter, in the middle of 2 very different fan sections chanting and pleading their case. CUC now calling back, we can't hear you.
It's a little game within the game. The Cougars got the support of the mascot, Charlie T. Cougar, so I don't know how they could lose that battle.
All right, so the officials are coming to the scores table now to talk about the calls. We are waiting to hear from the officials now.
I think there's a chance.
You see at the very bottom of their screen, they're talking to the official scores table ref.
I think there's a chance Rudell gets tagged with something. Starting to throw some elbows around after that little tie-up.
But again, Isaac Rudell able to get the initial stop in the paint, drew the initial foul against Scott Paulus, I should say, as well. And then it was the extracurricular activity at the end. I think the swing that might come back to haunt Rudell.
I think
there might be a flagrant foul called.
I think Rudell's going to get tagged something for those elbows he was throwing around, intentional or not, of course. But
and remember, Paulus got warned before. Rudell also got into a scruffle before on the baseline with Paulus inside. And so that's not the first encounter we saw in that last whistle.
Want something else? I don't know if you're able to see on your screen. Is about middle court after Rudell dished the ball away. He ran into a hard Paulus screen and got knocked to the ground. Paulus kind of gave him one of those stare downs afterwards. So those two have been kind of going at it all game, and looks like the tension finally got the better of the two. So interested to see what comes out of this one.
So an initial foul is called on Scott Paulus. So he picked up his second personal foul. And then so a flagrant foul called against Isaac Rudell, so he picks up his 3rd personal foul. David Britton steps in and hits 2 free throws. So the same official that was talking with Scott Paulus about his conduct earlier in the game talked to Coach Kohler. But again, all 3 of these officials are letting the teams play it out. Again, there has to be a line in the sand drawn.
Well, and it comes down to who's just going to keep their composure. I mean, Rudell drew the initial foul. If he just said, all right, I drew the foul, that's it, it's no problem here. But he had to throw in that little extra elbow out of frustration, and that's what drew that free throw.
Delvin Barnstable banks in a 3 from the top. He now has 10 points. That is his 24th game with 10 points or more on the season. Gladney turnaround shot.
Great response there by Gladney. Make that tough turnaround. They got to put some brakes on the defense, though. Can't let Marian keep hitting these open threes.
Landon Gladney in double digits for the first time since February 14th against WLC with 10 points. Defense chance, Ring and Geisman. Geminer looked like he got poked in the face, but play still goes. Britton pump fake 3. Now a 3 from Baston. High, hits off the shot clock.
He is getting a couple breaks on these threes. Marian has a pretty wide open shot. They're just not hitting them, which usually they do. So see if they can capitalize on that miss there, that rare miss.
Marian 2 of 8 from 3-point land in this half after going 5 of 12 in the first. Cougars 1 of 4 in the second half. 0 of 8 in the first. So they have struggled tremendously from behind the arc. Landon Gladney inside, almost lost it to Paulus. Backing down Paulus, and a foul is called. Paulus now picks up his 3rd foul.
Paulus a little frustrated.
Paulus replaced by Jarrett Henderson. As you mentioned, Henderson 6'8", 210 into the game. He will now go up against Landon Gladney at 6'5", 180.
Well, Gladney makes up for his size easily. He's a very athletic player. We saw that hook shot earlier. It's one of his specialties. So I really like the Gladney-Henderson matchup.
Cougars settling things down. Justin Greenlee slowly with 7 seconds going right side. Fade away. Gets knocked down. Rebound. Picked up by David Britton.
Good effort there from Greenlee. Not having quite the shooting night he had last game. 2 for 6 so far tonight.
Henderson loses it. Matthews in transition. 3-on-3. Wilson a 3. No good. Ball still popped around. Going the other way, Ben Baston.
Cougars still struggling from 3-point land. 1 for 5 in the half. 1 for 13 overall. Just not been their game tonight.
Blocked from Gladney inside. Justin Greenlee keeping tempo going on CUC's side. Jordan Matthews stops, step back just from the elbow. He can't find anything to go into the rim tonight. Now 1 of 6 in the game.
Well, Matthews, he brings a lot to this team other than just his scoring. He has good rebound, good stealing ability. One of the league leaders in steals per game. So he's still offering up some contribution. Just be nice if he could start putting that basket in the bucket.
Cougars down 8, 11, 10 remaining. There's a little more Geisman magic in the last half of basketball.
covertheforest.org.
Back in action inside Geisman. Jordan Matthews to inbound for the Cougars. Gives it to Emmanuel Wilson. Spin around, Landon Gladney just inside the three-point line, off the mark. Rebound from Dylan Geminer. Cougars are definitely trying to throw up some more shots. 14 shots now taken in the second half. Only 4 have fallen.
It's not really been their game plan all year, though. They're a team who takes smart shots, not a lot of shots, and they're kind of changing that right now. They might feel the heat right now as they're down 8 with time dwindling.
Henderson got his own rebound. A 3 from Britton in front of his bench. David Britton, 4 of 7 now from behind the three-point arc.
They haven't been hitting them a lot in the second half, 3 for 9, but they just seem to hit them at the most opportune times. Whenever the Cougars think they might get something going, a 3 from a Marian player kind of kills that momentum.
Gladney spin around, throwing it up hard to the court. We're going to say before the foul that this is the largest lead by any team in this game at 11 points. Foul called on Jarrett Henderson. That is his 3rd personal foul.
I think the thing the Cougars really need to realize is they still got 10-12 left on the clock. They don't need to force a bunch of shots to try and get back in this one. They just play their smart basketball, as Coach Kohler says they usually play. They'll just get back in this one naturally. They got plenty of time to do so.
Isaac Riddell checked into the game. Davis Williams as well. Jordan Matthews gets his 2nd bucket of the game. 4 points for the senior.
I think that inbound was completely planned out by Matthews. He knew that as a Marian player was going to knock it right back to him. So smart play there by Jordan Matthews.
Cougars back into the zone. Sabres have been doing a good job this entire night of moving the ball around the perimeter and getting open shots. Losing it out of bounds was going off of Ben Baston, and then Riddell touched it last is what the official signaled.
Don't know if Riddell really needed to go for that one. I think it might have been out on Marian on its own right, but you'd like to see the effort in the end of the day.
Marian will inbound in front of their bench. A long 3, way off the mark from Britton. And now a foul going the other way, and this is a big one that's just been called. Jarrett Henderson picks up his 4th personal foul. So now both big men for Marian are in foul trouble.
Either of those 2 guys, Henderson or Paulus has 3, Henderson 4. If one of them gets knocked out of the game, that's a huge win for the Cougars.
And Paulus and Henderson have 7 of the team's 10 total fouls in the game. And another benefit is, too, the Cougars will be shooting bonus free throws for the remainder of the game. Matthews, strong take inside, loses it. Thought there was a deflection and pleading his case to the official. Now another official is coming in. There might be a reversal of the call. I stand corrected. He was just going over to get the word to tell Coach Kohler.
So just a couple of jumble of hands there in that attempt by Matthews, so probably was just whatever was caught on the court was going to hold.
Nice movement around the perimeter. Barnstable's 3 was a good open look.
That's been their look all game. Move it from the corner to the top, right over this wing. You just got to do something to figure that out and cut that off, or else Marian's going to get some more 3s under their belt.
Matthews inside. Davis Williams loses it. It was hit off of Dylan Geminer. But again, the Cougars have not hit a 3-pointer since the opening seconds, really, of the second half, as Jalen Meeks replaces Emmanuel Wilson.
And you can get away with not having a good 3-point night, but when you're going up against a team who is having a good 3-point night, it's really hard to make up that difference without that 3-ball in your pocket.
Especially with the way that the Sabres have been playing defense inside of the paint. Cougars with 22 paint points. Spin around Meeks, fade away, has to throw it up. Nice at the rim, Hatton with the lay-in. Tremendous awareness from Hatton, was the only one to get his hands up and in the air.
See if this could give the Cougars something. It was a big play. The crowd really liked it. See if we could give them any kind of momentum because they really need it now.
Marian being methodical, and when they're attacking, they do. Gowan out. Barnstable gets it stuffed by Rudell. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Meeks had it tipped, and it was out of bounds off Meeks. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Inbounding it for the Sabres is Geminer. Meeks is guarding him right at the line.
3 seconds. Can't let anyone get open for a quick catch and shoot.
Britton from the letters. Way high. Almost had a chance to bank it in. Cougars are going in transition. Jalen Meeks, no sign of stopping. Throws it up. Will go to the free throw line for 2 free throws. A veteran take from a fifth-year senior going inside and drawing the foul. Tyler Gowan called. That is his second personal. It also puts the Cougars in the bonus for the rest of the game. Timeout called. 7:57 remaining. Cougars have been down but not out. 44-37, Marian leads on the Cougar Sports Network.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? But now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Back inside of Geisman Gymnasium, we're going to send it for a courtside update with Parker Kelly.
Thank you, Carter. I'm in a little bit more quiet part of the gym so we can actually focus on the game a little bit more. The Cougars' shooting woes still remain present, only shooting 1 for 13 from 3 and 50% from the free throw line. And the Sabres are starting to pull away due to David Britton and his 16 points. But Coach Collar's not worried because he knows his Cougars are a second-half team. Back to you, Carter.
Thank you, Parker. David Britton averaging 22 points and 9 rebounds in the postseason. As Peter mentioned in the broadcast in the earlier portions, 4th in NACC scoring in the regular season. And this is going to be crunch time here for the Cougars. One of the worst free throw shooting teams in the conference has to start making free throws and come back into this one down by 7. It'll start with 2 from Jalen Meeks.
Especially if they're in the bonus. Any Marian mistake can result in some easy points for the Cougars.
Ben Baston in replaces Dylan Geminer. So a chance here for the Cougars to kind of pull away. And out there too, Jarrett Henderson on the left block with 4 fouls. He replaced Scott Paulus with 3. Cougars drop into their zone again. Defense chance echoing around Geisman. A kicked ball called on Isaac Rudell. Would have had a breakaway layup if he got that hand down just a little bit sooner. A big defensive stand for the Cougars. 7:42 remaining in the game. Baston gives it out to Gowan. Turning around, pulls up, Rudell. Meeks able to get the rebound, I should say.
Good defense. Marian kept looking around the perimeter for that open 3. Cougars kept closing it out to every player they were looking at, so good perimeter defense. Forced that tough mid-range, grabbed the rebound.
Isaac Rudell slowly going right side. Gets it into Jordan Matthews. Inside, Barnstable, back out to Meeks. 2-step to Davis Williams on the baseline. Hatton, pump fake, 5 seconds, deep 3, short. Rebound pulled down by Henderson.
Cougars might have felt the heat of the shot clock there and don't usually have Hatton taking 3s, but they need to get something up, so Hatton chucked up a 3.
At this point, any Cougar is trying his luck from behind the three-point arc. Now in the game, 1 of 14. Isaac Rudell is the only Cougar to have a 3-point field goal in this game. Inside and getting his own rebound, Delvin Barnstable. Nobody even touched him on his second attempt.
Davis Williams, he was in the vicinity. He's got to read that rebound a little better. Probably thought it was going to pop out his way.
Lead is back out to 7 for Marian. Jordan Matthews still with only 4 points, an off night for the senior that has been doing tremendous things this entire postseason. Rudell spinning around inside. Baby hook, good. Isaac Rudell, 5 points. Big stand for the Cougars. Coach Kohler firing up the crowd.
This is when Geisman's at its best, and you could barely hear yourself think.
A 3 from Gowan. Off the mark, rebound Hatton. Cougars going the other way.
Could be a huge swing for the Cougars.
Isaac Rudell 3. Short. Davis Williams put back. Good. Cougars down by 3. And a timeout called by Marian. Geisman is rocking.
Oh my goodness.
Cougars are going on a 10-2 run over the last 5 minutes to close down within 1 possession of the Sabres. Stay tuned for more basketball on the Cougar Sports Network.
discovertheforest.org.
Where the stadium, it seems that way, as it's bigger than it is inside of Geisman for sure. Everybody's rocking as the Cougars are on a 10-2 run over the last 5 minutes. Blocked by Gladney!
Oh my goodness!
Welcome to the block party. Landon Gladney, fire me up with that one. Big possession here for the Cougars.
Landon Gladney, now here's a guy, he didn't have a great last game. Comes in, he's a huge game so far for the Cougars.
And everybody's going to take a chill pill as Isaac Rudell gets called with a foul. That is now Rudell's 4th foul. He gets replaced by Jalen Meeks. But going back to that play, Landon Gladney sliding over at the last minute for a huge block inside. That's the kind of defensive plays the Cougars need. That is only the 2nd block of the game. Still in their zone. Britton looking for help. He's in the corner, gets it out to Barnstable. A 3 off the mark. Rebound Greenlee. Fights off on the backside was Baston.
Greenlee is only 6'1", 150, but he uses all of his size on the rebound.
And a foul call. Ben Baston knocking Greenlee to the ground. Baston picks up his first personal foul. It sends Justin Greenlee to the free throw line for bonus free throws.
Greenlee's only shooting 48% from the free throw line, so if you can mess up that trend and hit both of these, that's going to be huge for the Cougars' hopes right now.
Sinks the first, the net barely even moved.
See, he's under that Steph Curry training regiment.
Justin Greenlee in the game with 5 points, 2 assists and 4 rebounds and a steal. Leaves it short, trying to chase his own rebound, but it goes into the hands of David Britton. Cougars down by 2, 4:27 remaining.
About as big a stop as you can get right now.
Greenlee, eyeing the ball, looking at Gowan. In the corner is Britton. Can't escape Wilson. He'll go baseline, finds Gladney, and loses it, but it's off the foot of Landon Gladney. Right now, if you're the Cougars, some of the sharpshooters you have to watch out for is obviously David Britton, who is 4 of 9 from behind the three-point line with 16 points, but you cannot lose sight of Delvin Barnstable as well, 2 of 5 from behind the arc. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Barnstable gives it back to Gowan. Baseline drive inside. Paulus gets the bank it in just over the soaring Landon Gladney.
Gladney almost got there again. I don't know what Geisman would have done if he got another piece of that one, but good job by Paulus just to elevate that one.
Matthews spin around. Wilson, a three. Too strong. Rebound from Barnstable. Britton with the chance to get this thing back into their own range. Spreading the lead out. Gowan's going to hold it at the C logo. Gladney on Gowan. Now out to Barnstable. Gowan. Gladney on him.
Got to watch shot clock.
Sidestep. Nice jumper. Rattles in and out. Offensive board from Baston. The 6-foot sophomore sneaks in behind the Cougars. And Marian is going to pull it out and wind down as much clock as they can.
Cougars have been winning the rebound battle all night, 35-28, but that was a costly loss there.
Gladney, hand up, might have gotten a hand on it, out of the hand of Britton. Britton is getting a little trigger happy right now from behind three-point arc in this half.
He had a hot start. He's 4 for 10 overall from beyond the arc. He's going to keep taking those not-so-great shots. I don't think the Cougars are going to complain that much.
Jordan Matthews, a three. Bang! Jordan Matthews brings the Cougars within one.
Welcome to the game, Jordan Matthews. Finally getting that three-pointer he's been hunting for all night. Could not have come out at a better time either.
A huge defensive stand for the Cougars. Marian trying to silence the crowd. Barnstable back out to Gowan. Britton. A drive inside, pull up from Gowan. Able to rattle it home. Gowan, a good play inside with 6 points.
Cougars got to play a little tougher defense on him.
Nice finish inside, Jordan Matthews. The big-time senior has been coming alive in the last minute or two for the Cougars, and they've needed him.
Matthews really turning it on now. He's got to keep it going, though. Cougars still need a little help, especially on defense.
Gowan's shot again, the same spot, same result.
Cougars can't make the same mistake twice, especially now in clutch time.
A minute 38. The Sabres are up by 3. The ball is in the hand of the best playmaker for the Cougars. Step back 3. Bricks it, and it goes off the ribbon. A good look for Jordan Matthews. And a break in the action. 52-49. The Sabres are up against CUC, trying to upset the number 1 seed in the conference tournament on the road. A lot at stake for both teams coming into this game. The Cougars, after getting their first number 1 seed under Coach Kohler, winning their first playoff game under Kohler as well, have a chance to host a conference championship and play in it for the first time in program history. The Sabres have not been back to the conference championship since 2014 when they last were hoisting the trophies and crowned champs of the NACC. A minute 28 to tell the tale of how this game will end.
Cougars have a couple fouls to spare. They're not in the bonus yet, so if they need to stop the clock, gets down to that time.
Greenlee trying to keep distance. Ball on the ground. It's loose. Picked up by Marian. Rolling around, and a timeout is called. Smart move by Gowan. And now Justin Greenlee is down on the ground, not getting up. Greenlee is okay and finally getting up. He'll be checked out by medical personnel. And now the referees are having a conversation with the head coach, Drake Diener. Now official word from the officials is a full timeout. Only a couple seconds ticked off that clock. A minute 12 remaining in the second half. Marian up 52-49 over the Cougars.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Tree will you be? Will you be the kind that makes shade, or the kind?
Welcome back to the broadcast. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you. Let's give you an update of how the other game is going. Back up in Wisconsin, Concordia, Wisconsin is leading St. Norbert College 80-77 with a minute 24 left in the second half. Jalen Meeks almost with an inbound steal. It would have been a tremendous play. And now he has to play man defense against Tyler Godwin, and a foul is called.
Yeah, sometimes the refs, they've kind of been on both ends of the spectrum so far tonight. They're letting them play sometimes they're calling it at the slightest sight of something.
Meeks picks up his first personal foul. Cougars with 14 fouls in the half. Gowan gives it up to Britton, was going to do a three, now with drive left side, and he pulls it back out. Under a minute to play in Geisman. Wilson, a hand up in the face, ball bounces down, Hatton with the rebound.
Good defense there by Wilson. On Britton, just stayed on him the whole game, didn't let him get any space there.
Emmanuel Wilson with the ball, gives it up to Jalen Meeks. Jordan Matthews loses it, and it goes out of bounds. A costly turnover for the Cougars, as now only 4.3 seconds separate shot clock and game clock, and a timeout called by Coach Kohler. Justin Greenlee will check in at the table as well. 30-second timeout. We will keep it here for you. As Peter, it is a nail biter right now. Cougars are down by 3, but you can see the look on Emmanuel Wilson's face as he slipped. That was a costly turnover. Gave them now 14 in the game.
Looked like just a really unfortunate accident from Wilson. You see his front foot just kind of slipped out from under him. Almost did the splits and just lost control of the ball. So not really his fault on that one. Just got to maintain your balance a little better. But he's got some work to do in the last 34 seconds.
4.3 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. Marian can wind this down as much as they want. Cougars still have 2 timeouts remaining. Marian is out of timeouts.
Something else, Cougars, Marian isn't in the bonus yet, but.
On the floor for the Sabres, Scott Paulus, David Britton, Delvin Barnstable, Dylan Geminer, Tyler Gowan, and Ben Baston. For the Cougars, Greenlee, Wilson, Matthews, Gladney, and Meeks. Inbound pass to Britton. Cougars in full court press, trying to trap Britton on the sideline. Passes up to Baston. Gladney able to tip it, and it goes out of bounds. The FAR official says it went off of Gladney.
Great full court press from the Cougars. Good job by Gladney to try and get his hands on it. Just couldn't corral it in, but see what they can do on this inbound.
Justin Greenlee playing hard inbound defense. Jordan Matthews almost get it. Loose ball, Gladney picks it up. Shot clock is off. The season comes down to this for the Cougars. They need to tie the game. Justin Greenlee almost loses it. Pulls it back out. 10 seconds. Ball is in the hand of Jordan Matthews, the playmaker all year for the Cougars. Step back. A three. All front iron. Ball is still loose. It's up. Matthews throws it up and misses off the side. And that's the season for the Cougars. The Sabres storm into River Forest and upset the #1 team in the conference tournament and advance to the conference championship Sunday afternoon. Jordan Matthews had the ball in his hand for the end of the game, the best player on the team, and the playmaker almost made it happen.
He had the open three at the end of the game, just couldn't hit it. Just an unfortunate way for the #1 seed season to end.
It was a low-scoring affair, both sides. But right now for the Cougars, it's heartbreak inside of Geisman. The Cougars are able to host their first conference championship as the #1 seed. And just like that, the season is over. Want to give a quick shout out to all of our production crew, but we're going to send it down to Parker Kelly standing with Steve Kohler on the court.
Well, Coach Kohler, it was a great run. How special is this group of seniors and team as a whole?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I think one of the biggest things, we always talk about how do you impact others. And I think, you witnessed tonight and throughout this entire run, with people rally around our group of guys, I think everybody has taken a little bit more pride in Concordia Chicago. Telling people that you go here, rocking a shirt, whatever it is, and it's a bigger picture. It's not just about this season, but it's about kind of developing that pride again. And I think this group of guys has done that.
Well, you can definitely tell that this team played more energized in the second half. How would you describe the effort?
Yeah, we compete all year long. We've been a second half team pretty much all year. We got off to a really tough start in the first half, but we rebounded and we did what we needed to do. I thought we got a little sped up. We were a little bit rattled. We were getting the stops we needed, but we didn't get really composed possessions, in my opinion. But our guys are fighters, man. They're fighters. They compete their tail off. And they compete for the guy next to them.
And last question, what's your mentality going into next season?
I don't know. Rest, and then in a couple of weeks, get in the weight room. We got to be stronger. We got to get better, and just continue to raise the standard. We accomplished some awesome things. We won the league. That hasn't been done in a long time. Well, are we content with that, or do we understand what it takes to meet that standard? And the guys that we have coming back and the guys that we bring in, they'll understand that.
Thank you for your time, Coach. It was a great run.
Hey, and I appreciate you guys doing this and your coverage all year long. Your sports communications with social media is the best there is. So really appreciate that.
Thank you, Coach. Back to you, Carter.
Kind words from Coach Kohler to end the season. And big thank you to Parker Kelly for doing the courtside interview. For our producer, Julia Beers, Emily Balaban, as well as Jada Carr, Chandler Kerr, Wyatt McLaughlin, Sydney Palaskis-Laher, as well as Kate Johnson, under the direction of CJ Selner, Justin Bajorseth, and Kayla McLeod. I am Carter Gladhill signing off from inside a Geisman Gymnasium. We'll see you next season for more Cougar basketball on the Cougar Sports Network.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.